Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Okay, it was Paul who wrote that. God allows Paul to wrote that letter to the Corinthians. No, he wrote that to the Corinth people, which is a Corinthia is a big place where ang tanan nga melting pot na tanang business trade of during the time Corinthia or in the place of Corinth, Corinthia is pinakadako nga lugar para sa business trading, no? Muna nga ang tanan ng mga harlot, tanan ng mga prostitution, it was in Corinthia. Mao na pagtawagon ka na you're a Corinthian girl, even karon na panahon, they mean that you're a prostitute. No? Muna na ang Corinthian church dito sa Corinthia, si Paul, that is why very sarcastic siya. When you read the book of Corinthians 1 and 2, sarcastic kaya mga words. Sa 1 yun, very sarcastic, sarcasm. It's because he was talking to the believers who were putting things inside the church. Mga believers, pero nagkaroon og mga contest sa preaching, no? Na ay mga contest sa mga preachers how they preach, na susunod na ang asawa sa deacon uyab niya ang so dili pwede. That is why Paul was advising and telling it to everybody na be steadfast. Mo ning karon pagahisgutan nato, we will expose every word na naa dinha sa verse 58, no? Okay. Muna din na ang Corinthians. Okay, this is it. Okay, no? In 1 Corinthians 15:15, therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. The first word was steadfast, no? Steadfast means, sa Greek pa na siya, hezomai. No? Stay still. Ayaw liho, pabilin diha lang ka. That's steadfast. Mo na ingon ni Paul, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast. No? That is why in Greek, it was called hezomai. Pasabot, stay still. Pabilin ka diha. Diha na ka. No? And the next word is unmovable. So na gani word na steadfast, unmovable na gani na, di ba? Because stay still man. But in the word in Greek, it was called ametakenetos, means to stay over even in difficult times. Unmovable. Dapat dili ka matarog bisan unsa pay maabot. Ang steadfast, stay still. Pabilin ka din ha. Pag ngayon naging unmovable, you will stay even in difficult times. And the word always abounding. The word abounding. The word abounding in Greek, it's called pereseuo. No? Pereseuo is P-E-R-S-E-O-U-O. Nadito ang iyahang intonation sa tumoy, no? Which means excel and remain and be more. Pag may ganit abounding, aside sa excel, you remain and be more in the work of the Lord. Bisag unsa pa ang imong himuon, always bear in our mind kung unsa imong ginahimo, ayaw hunahunaa nga imo ng trabaho. Hinumdumi imo ng gihimo para sa Ginoo. Aron dili ka magbagulbol, aron dili ka kapuyon, aron dili ka maluya. Because if ever you're doing it for the sake para sa atong pastor, for the sake para i-please nato atong pastor, no. Always remember, we are doing all of this because we wanted God to be pleased. Muna nga, the word abounding is for God. Himuan na nga himo nimo ana para sa Ginoo. Pabiling nga para sa Ginoo tanan ang imong kusog, ang imong ginahimo, ang imong gitrabaho, ang imong, for short, hinumdumi, ministry na. I-ministry na. Una-una mo trabaho na, ayaw. I-ministry na. Para nga, you will remain. You will abound. You will stay still. Because, as what Paul is using, a very heavy words. Mo na yung mga great, strong word of the Greek. Mo na in Corinthia, sa mga Grego, because Corinthia is part of Greece. So, when he talks to the Grecian, when he talks to the Corinthian at Corinthia, he was using these words, saying steadfast, unmovable, abounding of the work of the Lord. And the next word is, your labor is not in vain. When you say labor, kopos in Greek, it is an implication of, kung may kag-work, unsa lang man ang implication sa work, you will receive salary. You will be doing something. But when you say labor, it's an implication of pain. It's an implication of trouble. And even it is an implication of weariness. Mauna nga, for as much as you know, kag kabalugid kaayo ka, nga ang labor is, ang imong labor o ang imong paghimo ni Ana is not kawang, dili kawang diha sa Ginoo. Pero the word labor, in Greek strong word, dili siya pareho sa work. Dili siya pareho sa job. When you say labor, it's an implication of pain. Muagi ka gid og pain, muagi ka gid og miseries, muagi ka gid og trouble. But go back to the word steadfast. Stay still. Pabilin ka diha. Kungan, unmovable. Ayaw i-abound yourself of something, but always remember, dili ka kay mula ka umawa. Because if you are a teacher, a Sunday school teacher, if you are a preacher, if you are a pastor, if you are soon to be a preacher, di lalim ang usa ka preacher, ang usa ka mensahero, ang usa ka poyman, dili lalim. Muna ingon ni Paul, abi ninyo trabaho, abi niya ang isultihan niya ana mga pastor lang o mga preacher. Remember, he was talking to all the believers inside the church of Corinthia. And he was telling us na ang ato dong himuon is dili kawang, dili empty, dili vain. In Greek, it was called kenuos. Kenuos means vain, dili empty, dili kawang. Mauna na when we do labor in the Lord, ay pag-expect na bed of roses ang mag-serve sa Ginoo. Ay mo na you will be on a big house or in a comfort zone or a comfortable life. No. You will go through a lot of suffering, a lot of miseries, a lot of trouble. But remember, that is how the Lord shaped His people so that they can appreciate what is all about God's amazing grace. And of course, remember, it was when you labor, wagi juga grabe kag mga implications, miseries, troubles, and everything. Remember, it's a work of the Lord. Ang matanaw sa Ginoo, naghimo lang ka, ana na, in a positive way. Mo na ingon ni Paul, abounding. Always remember, always be reminded, always be inculcated sa imong mind ang imong ginahimo. Ayaw himo nga trabaho, himo nga ministry, aron dili ka makabagulbol, dili ka makayaw-yaw, dili ka makareklamo. Katapoy na ba ani? Oy, dili man ako ang assign ani. Sorry, you're not doing your ministry, you're doing your job. Ako di assign anak nga sa kuan man. No? That is why, ingon ni Paul, abound. Because your labor is not in vain. Because it is called the work of the Lord. Okay? So, 1 Corinthians 15:58. Very strong kaayo siya naman, no? But let us see. 1 Corinthians 15:58, the title is Progress Through Perseverance. Because in a successful life, no? In a successful life, in a successful things, or in a word, success itself, the world never teach us the word perseverance. Because in every success, dili gud mo bunga og success kung dili ka moagi perseverance. Mauna nagihide or gitago na sa kalibutan, it's because ang tao dili gusto moagi kalisod-lisod. Diba? Kaya gud anang bago kang luwas, nagalagay ka sa Ginoo, tagalog kang pasulay sa Ginoo, mukwit na dayon ka kay di-agi ang pagsulay. Pero the Lord, thank you for your grace. The Lord wants us to persevere. No? Dako kayo na nga word, usak ni mo makamtan ang word na success, ang word na progress. Muagi gyud kag persevere, no? Magpadayunon. Magpatama ko itong magpadayunon. Magpadayon, no? Persevere gyud ka. Okay? Because that is what the content of 1 Corinthians 15:58. Okay? Let us study the background of the book. The background of the book, Apostle Paul was the writer of the epistle to the Corinthian church. So Corinthian church was about sa believer yun gisulti, no? And definitely it was clear that the writer of the book in 1 Corinthians is no other than Paul due to his introduction and greetings, no? Because when you read chapter 1, verse 1, it was telling us Paul, called to be the apostle of Jesus Christ through them. So, di ba? Gisulti niya, nagid yung greetings, okay? And the letter of the 1 Corinthians was written at Ephesus during and between 53 to 56 AD. No? Okay, after that, in between, he was writing also the book of pagka 53, pagka 54, 55, he was writing also the 2 Corinthians. Okay? But not in Ephesus. Where was that? Ang 2 Corinthians, saan gisulat? It was written in the book, and the book was written in Macedonia. No? Always remember that, labang to student, no? Ang 1 Corinthians sa Ephesus, kung asa na gibili ni Paul si Timothy na dito mag-serve, right? Tapos, ang 2 Corinthians sa Macedonia. Okay? And the letter was written at Ephesus during the third missionary journey of Paul. No? So, ang iyang correspondent na verses, it was found in 1 Corinthians 15:8 and 19. No? Para naamoy sources, para naamoy evidence. Di po pagkatanon mo, dili sa Ephesus, dili nasa Ephesus, kinakasulat na din sa 1 Corinthians. No? Nanakutan nyo din ang 15 verse 8 to verse 19. Very concrete tayo. And, of course, continue. The letter has a great variety of subject and instructions that are dealt with this letter. But the underlying theme is all about sanctification of the believers. No? Daghan kay siya gidil ani. No? Because he was talking about love. Right? He was talking about katong mga nagninyo niya unbeliever ang naminyoan. Katong nagbulag ang mag-asawa. No? Mo lang diyan ako makita po na kung mamatay imong asawa, wala gibutang ni Paul na pwede ka magninyo. Pero kung dili nimo kaya, well, it was pwede ka makaminyo. Pero hinumdumi. Pila di ay katadyang ang ikuha sa Ginoo sa imuha. It was in the book of Corinthians. You read it. It was all there. Sige lang, on the Parents' Day na to, I'll be discussing that. No? Moto nga, pwede rin itong minyo, pero pagkabot sa tumoy sa iyong question, pila di ay ka rape ang gikuha sa Ginoo sa imuha. Sarap. So, ang Exodus lang yun ang nagsurya na sa kagahit silang ulo nga namatay ang ilang loved one, nagminyo. But it was not God's order. It was not the law which was written in the book of Exodus because it was part of the Torah. But in the book of Corinthians, ibalik ni Paul. Pag namatay ang pamilyahan kasi ng asawa or bala ni mo na dili magtotoo, pasagdi, pero wala niingon si Paul na ayaw siya, ibalik niya, ayaw siya dawata. No, ingon si Paul, dawata. That is why in the book of 1 Corinthians was talking about love, talking about marriage, talking about relationship, talking about the set up of the congregation, set up of the church, organization of the church, mo na nga it-dealt. But the underlying theme for the believers is all about sanctification. Pasabot, live in holiness. Muna yung siya mga bana, kung namatay yung asawa, kung dili ka kagwanta, pagninyo. Pero ang pangutana sa Ginoo, kung pila day ka ribs, ang itanggal sa imo. So makinumdum ka, isa lang ito eh. Kinsa day yung ribs siguro ni sa silingan. No, I'm not yun, no? That is why it was all written. The Bible has been never ganing nakulangan. Wala din nakulang. Everything was all written therein. No? All we have to do is read it. When we read it, if you can have a time to sit down during our Bible college time, sit down, especially in exposing the words, because there are words na abi nato normal lang gamiton. No, there are strong words that are used by Paul so that the Greek people will be convinced. Dili mangunin mo na sila basta ma-convince because these people are the lawmakers, no? Intelligent people. So the people that Paul was talking to are saved, past tense, by faith in Christ. But Paul wanted their lives to be accurately positioned as the children of God. Kay wala gina sa Kristohanon, luwas. Unya, pag-abot sa Lord's Supper, dili pa apilo ng pobre o kaon, di na dato ang manangmitbit sa pagkaon sa Lord's Supper. Unya, pag-abot sa tayo nga mag-preaching, na-context sa preaching sa preachers. Human ang mag-uyab, nisugot lang na wala di kasal, nag-uban, nag-live-in, ay dili. Tingnan ni Paul, tudluan, isulti, and be honest, because it was commanded to the believers to say honestly, because every teaching has its own truthfulness and personality. No? Importante kaayo na. O na nga, dapat nakaposisyon kita, no? Right in tune. Kung sa radyo pa, always in tune. Kung dili tama ang tune, agat ka. Karak, no? 7, the book has 16 chapters, and it has 437 verses, and definitely it has 9,489 words in a survey that's in KJV. Okay, that's the background of the book. Now, we will be studying the background of the writer. Okay, the writer himself identifies both at the beginning and the ending of the epistle. And of course, many details of his life are mentioned in the New Testament book. No? Kay halos ang New Testament, remember, Paul is a persecutor. He is the murderer. But God allows him to write most of the book of the New Testament. No? And of course, Paul was a lawyer, persecutor, but a missionary writer by calling. Missionary pa siya, missionary writer pa rin siya. No? Persecutor lawyer ba siya? Because he is the student of Gamaliel. And Gamaliel is one of the intelligent Pharisee who makes the law in their place in Jerusalem. No? Wala nga how kay si Paul. And of course, Paul was mentored by Barnabas, no? Si Paul, daghan kay siya nasulat, daghan kay siya nahimo, pero ang nag-mentor sa iya si Barnabas. Ni sa kanibro, walay nasulat. Pero dakog role si Barnabas magigamit sa Ginoo nga si Paul ma-convert. Unsa lang baya si Barnabas? Unya, through him, gi-allow sa Ginoo nga mabuta siya. Si Barnabas ang iyang gipaagto, di ba kuyo siya dito sa ila Judas, kung asa na lugar, paagto si Barnabas, di ba disciple siya. And indeed, he was a convert. No? Wala si Paul. And Paul was a student of Gamaliel. Okay. And the purpose of writing, wala niya gisulat ang book of Corinthians aron lang yaga-yagaan ang mga saved people. Or nagsulat siya aron nga nala siya isulti. No. Paul purposely write the book. It's because first, to deal with carnality and flagrant sin being permitted in the church and attempt to build a unity. When you say flagrant, klaro na kay sanla, klaro na kay na dili na kalipay-lipay sa Ginoo. No? Pero naalang gihapon sa sulod sa buluhaton, naalang gihapon sa sulod sa church. Mao na nga gideal din ni Paul ang carnality inside the church. Mao na nga ang plano sa Ginoo sa kalibutan na ay buluhaton. Pero walang iplano sa Ginoo na sa sulod sa buluhaton na ay kalibutanon. You understand me? Sa kalibutan, ang plano sa Ginoo na ay buluhaton. No? So na mga churches. Pero wala iplano sa Ginoo nga sa sulod sa buluhaton na ang carnality, na ang kalibutanon. No? Pasabot, diha pa lang, ma-foul na ang mag-adapt o mga teaching sa gawas nga isulod nimo sa buluhaton. Dili ka pwede na drums din na o mag-flesh in worshiping God because klaro kaayo ng isulti ni Paul na dili carnality. Because once you're worshiping God in flesh, it's carnality. Sa unod. Pag once mo beat ang drum, mo beat ang boxes, mo beat ang chimes, what will will give you in doing it? Imong feet, imong head. Ingon sa Ginoo, dapat there will be melody in your heart. Kung saan nasa imong heart, ang imong spirit o ang imong soul. And God wants us to worship Him in spirit and in soul, not in flesh. Ay kung flesh, unod nun, dili siya mahimaya. Muna nga, gi-purpose gisulat ni Paul na tanan na to deal with carnality and flagrant sin being permitted inside the church. Dili pwede because and they attempt to build and magkaroon of unity. Wala pwede because dapat the teaching must be doctrinal, must be God's basis. No? What else? Ang purpose sa pagsulat niya? To instruct the church about doctrinal issue causing confusions. Because ang uban, pagtudlo sa salvation, ang salvation mawala. Ang salvation dili reward. It is a gift. Right? When it is a gift, it is given freely. Ayaw ko nagbawi uwak ang Ginoo. nga makasala ka ba yun niya imong salvation kay nakahimo kag dautan? No. Because it is a gift, it was given unto you. Pagkahuman, mo na ang doctrine nga gitudlo ni Paul na nagkaroon doctrinal issue because ano ma-dissolve ba ninyong salvation nga gift man di man na reward. Wala pa ka gihimo, gihatag na sa Ginoo. Di ba in the book of Romans? Unya kan mawala man. Unsa dayon inyong Ginoo nga mubawi og balik sa iyahang gihatag? Kita gani nga tawhanon gani ta nga muhatag ta, maulaw man gani ta mubawi. See? That is why our salvation is not of reward, it is a gift. And always remember the doctrinal issue when a person says that your God, labi na sa Pinoy na word na nagpakamatay ang Ginoo sa imuha, no? Wala nagpakamatay ang Ginoo. Gipakamatsan ka sa Ginoo aron luwason ta. Wala siya nagpakamatay because once you say nagpakamatay, na siya suicidal tendencies and that is psychologically ill. And remember, when God or when Christ is going to save you, it's not all about less things. He will save you thoroughly. Save niya, pinakagamay ni mong sin, di kasi mong tutikal hatutat, di kasi mong tutikal hatusin mong split end. No? When He preach no less. When He gives no less. When He advise, He gives not a less advice. That is why when we serve God, do not serve God in a less thing because that's mediocrity. Kung nagitudlo ni Paul dinha sa iyang doctrinal issue nga mahimong nakakonfuse sa uban. That's the purpose of writing. Okay, and next is to strengthen the hope of the church to look forward to Christ's coming and the resurrection of the saints. No, because as we die as a believers, we were called saints. No, pero wala himo nga himuntang saints human sa sambahon na ta. No, si Santo Sherwin, no, si Santo Lorenzo Ruiz ba to? Santo Ramon Cito. No, bagay lagi. Santo Federico, Spanish kaya, Santo Rogelio, ano yung papa, no? Itan yung papa, Santo Arvin, no? Ito katawa niya, Arvin. Sir Arvin, no? Okay, so that is why, no, I am praying for Sir Arvin also that he will be with the men, no? I'm praying for him. And that's a lot take of prayer because, sige na, abot na lang, grace ni God. Okay? So anyway, that's the purpose of Paul. That is why he wrote the 1 Corinthians. No? Doctrinal issue. Muna na diha nato makita na kanang ang babae nga dapat mo lead before the congregation. It's one of the doctrinal issues. Ang babae nga dapat dili mo wali over the men because wala din i-favor sa Ginoo. Anything that goes out from the teaching of the Bible is man's doctrine. Asa man ang itudlo? Because when you go to 1 Corinthians, sige, I want you to open it. First Corinthians, gusto lang ako na at least you will have a reference na it is very important, especially when it is order in worship. Okay? Chapter 14. Is it chapter 14? Yeah, chapter 14. 1 Corinthians, chapter 14. Muna yung nagipang deal diri. You know? Daghan siya gi-deal, pero ang iya is sanctification. Especially in sanctification in order to worship. Read verse 33. 33 to 34. Can somebody read that aloud? Sige, Patsoy, please. Dili na makawang sa imuha dong. Imong pagbasa, ana. It's the Lord is going to enable you.
For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace as in all churches of the saints.
34.
Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
Okay. It is very clear that a woman should not overpower the men. No? If the men are the preachers, the women are just the teachers. They are not to song lead. Kung sa gisulti, for God is not the author of confusion. He is the author of peace. Ano? Ang gigamit niya, but of peace. Ang peace na gigamit din sa strong is, sa strong Greek dictionary, kabalungon sa a God of orderliness. Because he was talking about the order of worship. Maon na nga nagkaroon ng confusion. Nga namin babae din eh. Di ba? Sa Church of Thyatira, babae man ang leader. Babae man ang nag-preach. Unsa naman yun? Ano ni Paul? Remember, women, you are to obey the men. You are to submit. You are under with the men. Dili pwede ang babae ang magdomina, mag-preach din na niya. May mutundo sa iyang bana o sa upang lalaki. Wala nang itugod sa Ginoo. Because ang lalaki ang gitungod sa Ginoo to bring the word and to teach everybody. Patriarchal baya ang Ginoo, ha? Patriarchal. That is why dinha mo ng purpose anak tanan, no? Mo na nga hinumdumi gid ninyo that women mayon ta na di man si Deborah bitaw ayaw og paging defensive. Deborah was used by him, pero kita mo sa katong 12 judges, was Deborah there? Wala, oy. Kaya kisa tong babae na, kisa tong lalaki na abin mo si Deborah niya, it was, because it is not, we are not to justify things. No? Okay. Vocabulary word. The vocabulary word is progress. When we say progress, means a forward or onward movement. Manong progress, no? Diretso. Forward. Okay. As an objective or to a goal. Muna nga na ay progress. Na ay padulunganan. Next one word, progress. The next word is perseverance. When you say perseverance, continued effort to do or achieve something despite of difficulties, failure, or opposition, an action or condition or an instance of persevering. Mao ni siya ang gi-open o galit ni Pastor Barbaso when he picked up Pastor Nable from the airport. I don't see picture frames. When he picked up Pastor Nable, gituyo dihay nga ibiyaan ko niya, nabiyaan man ko, nabiyaan ko, dito rin ako nahibalaan itong Monday, na it was purposely done, nabiyaan ko, because he wants to talk to Pastor Nable. And when he asked Pastor Nable, na was it Sir Mearns or Brother Mearns was given the full authority? And nangatanong si Pastor Nable, why did you ask? And siya na, is he really commissioned to tagum? Ni anak daw si Pastor Nable sa iya na murago daw siya sa surface. Wala na mas-masa mo siya na nalamdagan. Murago siya rapan sa yung murago yun kung paano ko mag-yun ko eh. Murago yung anak because when since siya ngano daw, was it Pastor Mearns, missionary Mearns was it threatened sa inyo ha? Ayun siya nagdili ka ng ang paano is dili ba lagi ko i-commission? Ayun siya na when you ask me, you're just like asking God itself. Because when I commission and given the authority to Pastor Rhory to be commissioned on the place of Tagum, it was not me who called him there. It was God himself. Now, if you're asking me, Pastor Barbaso, you're just like asking Christ. Why? Is he not able to call Pastor Rhory to pastor a church? Wala ganit daw siya ni question, igo lang ganit daw siya ni obey nga i-ordain ko, ibutang diri mura ko daw siya nang nakurutan mas-masan. No? Because, why? Is it me who called Pastor Rhory Mearns? No. It was not me. It was God who enabled him. Moto, nang persevere lang gihapon, mas daghan o oppositions. And after mo na maulaw kaayo ko, mo na every time sa akong ginahimo nagahilak ko. No, kasi nagtanaw ko sa kuan na even the picture principal, I was crying. Wala pa ko nakasugod og storya dito, naghilak na ko. Because nagtuo sila na kumutindo ko sa pulpit, kabalo ko kanan. You're wrong. You're wrong. Wala yung pinahibalaan. Ayaw din ang ginawa na. It was only from the grace of God. Muna nga, sa kalibutan mo lang ito ang success na word behind success na adiin ng word perseverance. Because you can never get into your place as a successful person if you don't persevere. No? Okay. Perseverance. Okay, first point. Dili kay dugay no dahil kakaayo. Dahil ba? O, 7 pa lang gani. Okay, persevere through fear. Okay, kanin mo ni siya. Actually, when I make this preaching, morning ako preaching about it Sunday. Persevere through fear. I have all the fear. Don't you know? Before ko mo preach, before ko mo stand sa pulpit sa mga churches when they invited me, I have cried. Mauto na akong check up, mauto nga mag-stop akong breathing because ginapugnan ako akong hilak. Kunya, ingin akong doctor, no, because your artery is, you're suffering now from cardiovascular inflammatory, which means munihubag ang part sa artery sa akong heart, it's because nagapugong ko sa akong hilak. Nagapugong ko because when I pray, especially when I pray with the family, I always cry with a burden. Sabot na og preach ko, kasi nagtanaw mo na relax na ko, okay na ko diri. Wala, oy. Namugnaw pud ko, napulbaan pud ko. It's not what you think. It was only by the grace of God. Hold me, kung di ba ko namugnaw. Daddy, hold me. Because I know my capacity. Kabalo ko wala ko nahibalaan, kabalo ko wala ko tanan. But I know I have a big God. Ni padayon ko maski na ako'y kahadlok. Ni padayon ko maski hadlok ko. Because you know what? I remember myself still, I am and even right now, I am right now being fearful. Sa tanan akong ginahimo. Basig nagunaw na mo okay ra ko. No. Ipadayon ko, kaluoy sa Ginoo, sa usa ka tuig o 8 ka bulan. Kasi akong hinilak sa Ginoo na kung sa akong i-preach, kung sa akong i-message, because most of the congregation are older than me. Kinsa lang man ko. People can despise me as a youth. Pero Lord, let my life be a blessing. Muna mo hilak na hud ko, kung saan po na ako. Labang mo. Wala na crying prophet, hindi ko prophet, missionary na po, Dok. Ano ko saya? Because persevere through fear, ni padayon ko, even fearful ko. Because I remember myself, and still I am right now, being fearful. This is the time of my first day of teaching, no? Maulang gapon, first, ang pag-preach ko diri, ang ako mainumduman katong time na first day ko na nag-teach sa VIC. Remember, di mo na si Church siya? And you are not just teaching anybody else. You are in the international school and you have to speak English. Kay taktakon kanila, ilisan kang bagong nga teacher, Pag imong itudlo Taglish, dili man pwede sa curriculum sa international school ang Taglish. Tagalog English, English man gyud lang. Mo na akong feeling. It describes my first day of teaching. No, puro kaay ko, kulbaan kay kuadlo kaay ko. Unya, muling ko is pastor na dito. Di ba? Unya, wala gani gabot ko dito sa tabi sa Palanan, ayaw sa diri sa Makati kay murag samot akong kulba. No? And even reminds me of the first time I counseled. Abi ninyo mag-counsel ko, abi ninyo counsel ako diretso. Dili, uy, ampo sa tayo doon ka, teacher Danica. Ampo sa teacher, so that the Lord will guide us. What are we going to talk about? And the Lord will end up us with a good spirit na unsa. Moto kong hinduman, it reminds me of my first council. Nagtuo mo ba ito yung ako preacher praise? Preacher praise ako. Iba sa pasa pagiging sa ihang bakrityon din. No? Pasa po dyan. Pasa. Inapakalo na bati ninyo. Nagtuo mo nga relax. Rakay ko. Okay na ito. O karo, di ba? Namugnaw ko. Because until now, I cannot depend on myself. Because, especially when teaching the Word of God, it is the most intricate teaching because you are dealing with His Word. Kay magpataka lang kag tudlo, mamislead nimo sila, ang congregation mahimo ng kulto. That is why I always point you unto the Lord because He is the one must be exalted. Dili ako, teacher ako. Muna yun ako, when the Lord allows me to lead, I don't lead to have followers. I lead because I want to build a new leaders din sa buluhaton. Amen? Muna nga, careful kayo ko. Pero sige, padayon na gihapon. Ganina, text ko picture please. Picture please. Kinsay mo tek, kinsay mo preach. Eh, dyan di ba, ingon kayo dito. Uy, nakandungdung, hindi siya, uy. Okay, Pastor Barbaso, ikaw mo preach ka lang. Uy, nakandungdung, hindi ka picture, uy. No? Kaya akin ninyo, dili ko pulpaan, tindo ko pulpit. Mali mo, pulpaan lang gihapon ko hantod karon, no?
Pulbagit pa.
Ha?
Pulbagit.
Apa?
Pulbagit.
Pulbagit yun. Higher ground.
Imo pag-preach kanina. Patay tagana mo ni taninganin bulabog na busang spiritual life. Ako na kadatik na ko. Madami ko preach.
Oh? Okay. Relax kayo. That is why when the first time I'm teaching, it describes me as fearful as I am. And it reminds me when I first counsel. Muna hatod ka, muna lang yan kung first time even sa preaching. Muna na, it sounds like my first preaching. Kung mo-preach ko, muna lang yan kung katong estudyante ko na practice preaching. Na tanang kulba niya, yung katong ba estudyante, tanan. Di ba sa chapel hour? First practice preaching, chapel hour, mga estudyante ako tayo mga katong academy o Bible College o ng LD. Mawala na ba akong feeling, hantod karon. Wala na bag-o. Muhila talaga ako, kulbaan ko, no? That is why I always bound in prayers. Because on my own, I cannot do it alone. Apart from God, I cannot do it. I cannot sa sino, kuyapan ako na rin. Sa aking kakulba. Wala lang mo kabaloon sa akong kulba. Every time I bring the word of God. Dili ko pwede ma-foul. Dili ko pwede mamali. Muna na, once I stand at the pulpit, I usually call God, take charge of me. Okay, you might have confusion in some doctrines. Niya, mutana mo sa kuha. Pareho itong kay Mami, itong gipamatana ko niya regarding sa call upon the name of the Lord and you will be saved. Unya, kung dili ko equip, kung dili ko nag-depend sa Ginoo, mo rin ako, Mami. Ano, mag-isa may niyo sa imuhan na kumutawag na kasanalan sa Ginoo, luwas na ka. Ayun siya, it was preached in the pulpit. Inako, was it? Wala nila gibasa ang requirements. Nga, asa may mauna? Ang verse 13 sa chapter 9 of the book of Romans, or naay verses nga 9, naay verses na 10, naay 11, naay 12, o sa naabot og 13. Naay requirement, dapat una i-confess. I-confess sa imong mouth. Because imong heart ang maghahatag sa imong faith. Aron sa imong pag-confess o sa imong pagdawat sa kinalabukan sa imong kasing-kasing as mo live as a proof sa imong faith, mauna siya ang mauna ang requirement sa salvation. Human, upon calling upon the name of the Lord, you will be saved. Mga ito siya, mami. Book of Romans 9:13, is it? Or 10:13? 10:13? Romans, yes po, Romans. Ipautana ko anak ni mami. And remember, mommy was serving the Lord more than I serve. It was about 50 plus na. No? Unya ako, it was all by the grace of God. Kung di ito magtudod-tudod din, kulbaan. No? Mga na nipadayon ko, maski pag nagkurong akong tuhod, maski kabalo ko ako'y nahibalaan, nagadepende lang yapon ko sa Ginoo. Okay? Because I always remember this. When I feel afraid, I just remember Moses was afraid. When Moses was called by God to go to the Pharaoh, he was afraid. Right? Katong tanggal sa bondage. And when Joshua was also afraid. And Gideon, sige lang mami, pasagdilan na mami. Pasagdilan na siya mami, okay lang na. Don't bother. Mas manangin nga, kung mikanta si David, si Saul, is nalipay sa pagkanta ni David, pero wala siya naminaw sa preaching ni Samuel, wala gi-honor sa Ginoo ang kanta ni David. Because ang tama ka paminawon, ang preaching ni Samuel kaysa sa kanta ni David. That is why the preaching is mas the best. Ngunit dapat mas taas yung time. Dili ang kanta-kanta ang pulong sa Ginoo. Okay? Moses was afraid. Joshua was afraid. Somewhat si Gideon. Diba? Kung sa inyo niya, ano ko ba, Lord? Pinakapobre ko sa among tribo. Pinakahina ko sa among tribo. Mawala lang na. And Paul has his line in the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 2:3. And I was with you in weakness, and in fear, and in much trembling. Puro ganing si Paul. Ako pa, dili ko Bible character. Puro ganing ng mga Bible character na Gideon, na mga mighty man of valor. Moses, Joshua, Paul was the writer of the New Testament. With all trembling ko manggani, usa na lang ako. Wala lang na akong ginahinumduman when I'm afraid standing here. When I have, because I know my capacity, limited kay ko sa tanan, even sa kaalam. But in the book of 1 Corinthians 2:3, mo na hinumduman ako si Paul. Paul gani nga lawyer na, kulbaan pa mong gani. With all weakness, fear, and in much trembling. Pagdala niya sa pulong, ako pa ha? O na, ipadayon lang po because I remember the scripture where I draw my source of strength and power. It is in the book of 1 Corinthians 2:4 says, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing word of man's wisdom. Sa akong pagtudlo diri, sa akong pag-preach diri, para dili ta mo i-influence sa tawhanong kaalam. Ang gusto na ko, because God put me here to lead, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power. And definitely, in verse 5, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men. Dapat ang faith dili diha sa kaalam lang, sa nahibaluan lang, kay mupak up ra na. Dapat ang faith O na ako diri, kay gusto na ako makahibalo mo nga, but in the power of God. Mawala na akong gibarugan. Ni padayon ko, progress through perseverance. I only persevere through the fear that I have. Na mas kabalo ko mo depende sa Ginoo, mas dapat ko mo depende sa iya, kay kabalo ko nga, limitado ko sa tanong kasama. And all of this, from the book of Isaiah, this will comfort me after preaching. And when God is going to take charge of me, book of Isaiah 41:10 says, the Lord is comforting me. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. For I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. On my right hand. Pasabot dilit ko niya, pasagdan. Kaya ako siyang Ginoo, ayaw kahadlok. Ninangyo ka sa ako na, if I will take charge of you, yes, I will take charge of you. Because I am with thee. And be not dismayed, for I am thy God. Walang kailakay ko sa kong Ginoo. Dili ko ninyo pwede hurawon sa bisan kung sa nabutang, maski pa sa akong rights. Because kabalo ko nga limitado ko, but I know my God is giving me the wisdom. Because my teaching and my preaching is not to entice a man in a worldly means of wisdom, but in the spirit of God. Mga na, sa akong fear, sa tanan akong mga ginaagian, abi ninyo okay ako, pero dili. Ako diri, pero nagapulong ko, manugnaw ng yapon ko, kulbaan yapon ko. No? Because there are words are used na dili mo dapat gamiton sa kana nga implications, mamali na ang doctrine. Diba? Kaliwaan ng reward. Kaliwaan ng, ano sa pa? Kanang salvation ba? Because everybody says it's a reward. Pasalamat ka kay bitilang ang reward sa Ginoo kanang imong kaluwasan. Reward kay ang kaluwasan. Diba? Because once it is a reward, it is kanang entitled ka o kanang entitled ka o reward, entitled ka o compensation. Diba? Because it's a reward. Pero dili man, gift man siya. Kung dili ko pwede mo gamit og word na ma-confuse mo. Munang isa-isa na ako ang word so that you will understand and live with it, because that is how the Lord is putting in our hearts. No? Okay, next point is persevere. What was the first one? Persevere through fear. This time, persevere through failure. It's true. Nga naman, nagtuo mo na, nag-preach ko diri akong grade 96, 97, 98. My grade in Bible College, 77, 66. Paghilak na ako, yung nag-ulit ko sa akong professor, ba't ka umiiyak? Sabi ko, wala akong grade ganyan sa secular eh. Okay lang yan. Paano mo naging okay yan, Sir Jojo? Biblical naman eh, 66 books of the Bible. Ganahan ka yan, Sir Jojo. Kita ka niya, di ba? Hindi ka kahilakan na limited kaayo in everything. Because even I failed a lot of things. I failed in my subject. Di pa dahil ko. It was all by God's grace. Muna na if ever you will come to your mind na laoy, ako mag-preach, dili ko sabi ako nahibalaan. Inumdumi na lang ninyo yung pastor kung sarap ko'y nahibalaan. It was all by the grace of God. It was from the spirit of wisdom that God gave me. It was not of me. Wala ko'y nahibalaan, especially from His Word. I only depend and study, and He takes charge of me. No, na persevere through failure. No? And in failure things, daghan kaayo kung mga naagyan na pilo. Wala naman na siguro nasulat diri. Ayan. In failure things, it's like, daghan kaayo kung failing things na wala na, dili na ako ma-count, especially when I was in Bible college. Una, na Bible school ko, wala ko'y sending church. Because I got saved at Bethany. So wala ko'y sent out na church, wala nag-support sa ako sa akong pag-eskwela. It was only God. Akong grade was all failure. It's because nag-struggle ko when I was first year. Moto yung ko, Lord, kung wala ko'y calling, iuli ko sa mga uwi. Dili pwede ko lang din, Lord. Moto na, ipailan ako si Preacher Prince sa mga kauban ako sa dormitory na I wash even their clothes. Diba? Naglaba ko sa ilang mga sinina para malabhan ko na ko akong uniform because wala ko'y pampalit o sabon. Paila-ilan ako sa Preacher Prince. Wala akong gitago. Even through failure. Na ako'y estudyante na anak sa pastor na gusto mo eskwela o Bethany. Kabalo si Teacher Kisha Ana. Nag-student assistant ko na wala ko'y dawato na allowance. Makasulod lang siya sa LB. Muskwela lang siya, and by the grace of God, nakahuman din siya. Isa sa mga suod na friend, Teacher Kisha. You still remember her, Teacher Kisha? Si J.C. Yeah. Unya, abili mo sponsor ko, dato kay ko, wala ko. Giliho ka na ko kanan. Muna na, sa tibuok na klase na mo, tanan na kong classmates, unya, to think ha, during the time, architect na ko, pero wala ko nitawag kay mami, I only live by faith. Tanan akong classmate na ay laptop, ako lang walay laptop. Sige lang, don't mind niya mami. Ako lang walay laptop. Kung ano ako sa mga Bible school student rin ako na, you are so blessed. Because all of you have a laptop. And all of you can do the project that I will require you, and you can submit it to me on time. Sa mua, tagaan lang kong 2 days ni Dindi Ocampo, ni Ma'am Solis, ni Pastor Nable, ni Pastor Paulo Malabanan. Tagaan kong 2 days. Kunya, kanang subject na 12 ka buok, 2 days lang ihatag sa ako para makasubmit ko. Kay kabalo sila, wala ko yan. Muna na, ang uban na subject, hindi na ako masubmit. Kulang-kulang. That's why na ako'y failure sa akong mga grades. Wala ba akong ipadayon? Ipadayon ko. Maoto na, katong time na I was commend to have a commission ko. Hindi nga ko kay Pastor Nable na ayaw lang Pastor Rhory, hindi ba ako bright na estudyante, hindi ba ako kabalo? But you have a clock. And it impresses to my heart that you are being called here. Sa mo kung hilak ka diri nang diri mangyod nga gabi kung naagian diri sa tagong. Pero still, that is why when Pastor Nable said, I was not the one who called you, it was God. And when the Lord impresses to my heart, now when I called you in the ministry, when I commissioned you in the place of Tagum, am always ahead of you. Siyempre, wala ba ako'y flop din. Teacher, payo na ba yun? Na estudyante na ko. Siya ba yun? Praise God, look at you now. Gamay lang ta kaayo, pero the quality of being a Christian, the quality of the doctrine that you have, you can stand. And haven't you realized in your lives that there are changes happening right now?
Amen.
Ma-discern gani na po na pastor? When I started preaching the word maturity or mediocrity, look at you now, dili na mo malate. Bitaw, ganyan ni Siya Aldrin? 2 hours before. Di ba ni-text ko? Praise God, kaayo din na po makahilak ko sa akong kasing-kasing. No? It's because of that. Nagtuo din ako na ginaampo, pati yung mga finances. Giludhan ko na kita sa Teacher Aldrin o sa akong ginaludhan. It's because I want the Lord will show His blessing on you. I want you to experience all of that. Mabito lang na wala ko nag-invite yung mga dato kaya gusto na ko diri mismo sa gamay nga buluhaton, diri mo na nga dato. And that is what we call by faith. Sa tanan na failure, yung padayon ihapon ko. And I thank God because He enables me. Right? Muna na sa pinakamaayo o pinakagwapo ng mga examples, no, okay, sa pagka-fail na ko tanan, wala ko nibit-bit og pride. Wala ko nibit-bit na, sige, kini pastor ka na, okay ra ni, mission, kaya ra na. Wala ko ni anak, kay una sa tanan. Ayaw na pastor, equip lang man ko. Di man kailangan niyo ko i-commission ng mudala kong church. Anak na good ako sinuryahan kay pastor. Kalugog ito mami, di ba? Bakit? God encourages me. Because you have a black or flop. Wala po akong flop. Mga estudyante na may teacher pa rin po ang estudyante ko. Pero, ipadayon ko because He called me. I never react. I only respond. Kung siya na padayon, ano na ako dahil karoon ng tindog sa iyong kubang. Ganina, persevere through fear. Next is persevere through failure. And now, last point, persevere through favor. Kanitanan, even ako, nagbarog ka rin, favor agad sa Ginoo. Kabalo mo kinsa ang pinaka-best na example sa kanang persevere through favor? Si Joseph. Joseph the dreamer. Even he goes with a great, tremendous na yun, ang great, tremendous na yun nga gikalaban siya sa tanan niyang igsuon. Gibaligya siya to be a slave. Right? Unya, aside from that, gipriso pagid siya. Pero kita mo sa siya nagpadayonon sa Ginoo? Because he knows that his God will give him the favor. Mo na nga si Joseph the Dreamer. Wala na Joseph the Dreamer ron. Uy, nagdamugod ko ay nag-istorya ang Ginoo sa kuha. Kabalo ka mo na ako dapat i-istorya sa... Wala na, oy. Kato sa una, mo na si Joseph the Dreamer because as a prophet, Joseph was given that kanang way of how the Lord communicates because wala pa may Bible at panahon na mo to nga kumuampo sila Lord give me a sign pero karon nga pag-sign na yung Bible ano tanan it was fulfilled, it was revealed and everything yung mga Lord tagay na kong sign Lord kung tama ba niya trabaho akong dawaton wa ka na unaw sa Ginoo ngay pag-sign istuhanon ni mong dako unless you don't have faith. Mga pag-sign. Nanatanan, oy, isulti na tanan sa Ginoo. Wala si Joseph, he was one of the great example of persevere through favor. No? Yang kinabuhi, gipatay siya, wala sa iyang pamilya. Wala siya gipatay, literally nagpatay siya, but he was cast out. Pero katong na time, kung gigamit lang niya ang ang iyang kaugalingon. Katong gi-rape siya sa queen, si Potiphar, right? Pwede kayo para namumugin siya o position, right? Pero he never did that. Kung sa nagibalugan niya, he stand firm to live in sanctification. Because naa siya sa Ginoo, kaila siya sa iyang Ginoo, siya mismo nilikay. Mauna nga, in all things favorable unto God, kita mismo kabalutan na tagaan ang pabor sa Ginoo, especially when we try to sanctify not just trying, but let us sanctify ourselves in holiness because our God is a holy God. Dili man nato kaya because siya ramang gid ang holy, but try yourself to separate from the world. He will give you the best favor in the world. No? Na sa atong pagpadayon, dili gid na makawang. Sa atong pagka-steadfast in standing with the Lord, in serving Him, abounding with Him, and unmovable, your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Muna ang implication sa word na labor, nga dili makawang ang imong sakripisyo, ang imong paglisod-lisod, ang imong pagkawad-kawadon, nga nangalagay sa Ginoo, wala na hinutanan, nga nangalagay sa Ginoo, dili na makaikyas sa mata sa Ginoo. Dili na kawang sa Ginoo. In His time, sama sa inyong ikanta, men, it will bear fruit. In His time. When God set His time, always remember this, He is not too advanced to do things para mag-una-una siya. He is not too late para nga maulahi siya or di matiwas o di madayon. He is always just right on His time, in His time. No? Una nga, ang atong gidependihan, ang atong hope, wala sa kalibutan. Ang atong hope, naa sa pinaka-dependable God. Kasandigan, katuhuan, kay kabalo ka itanga, danghanan na Ginoo. Amen? That is why there is no miracle if you know your God. Ang ingon lang, uy, wala pa doon, milagro kaayo. Kanang mga wala kabalo sa kapasidad sa iyang Ginoo. Because miracle will never happen. That is what we call faith. Ano magkaroon man ng miracle? Anong mahibulong man ka? Mahibulong ka kung kaya imong Ginoo, limitado pa rin sa kuya, kahimuan na. Pero ang atong Ginoo, infinite God, walay kutubangan, sovereign, unya mo himo giyon alam yung tag, wow, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. He can surely do it because your God is an omnipotent God, all powerful. Yung Kristohanon sa ay milagro na lang dito makapaayo sa iya ha. Lami nakapakot. Unsa? Kasi milagro.
Wala yung malaki.
Kaya kung kailan sa mong Ginoo, nikurog na ko dari 1 year and 8 months ako dari silak sa Ginoo, ni sakit at masigkating. Hindi mong inon na kung milagro, lagi ba kayo niya, Pastor? Kasi milagro! The best decision would always lie into the hands of God. Dili kay, halo, ambo na ito na maayos siya. Nga naman katong lansik siya. Kasi Ginoo para sa Ginoo? Hindi na pray siya good health. Asa siya itong good health pa siya? Unya, karon na nag-struggling na siya sa iyang deathbed, milagro rin makaayo niya? Ang sakit. Milagro.
Parang himala.
Oh, mo yung sinoro or walang himala. It's true. It's all because faith.
Pastor, hindi mo nila na divine intervention na lang ang kwan niya.
Divine intervention? What do you mean divine intervention?
Ang Ginoo na lang yung magkwan sa iya.
Actually, when you say divine intervention, bako kayo na word, no? Pero the people that you wanted to comfort, uban na hindi makasabot. So you have to use them in the layman's term. So, yun mo na, kabalo ka, ang pinaka-best na desisyon, ang desisyon lang yapon sa Ginoo. kung mabuhi siya or mamatay siya. Sa Ginoo lang gihapon ang best decision. Oh, that's divine intervention, di ba? Siya rayo. Paano ba na musulti ko sa inyo about mediocrity? Di ba mo makasabot ang mediocrity? Kung gamiton ako na term sa inyo ha. Ang pasabot sa mediocrity, kanang okay na, pwede na. Ano sa pa? Basta kay pwede na, okay na, di pwede nang ingon anak sa Ginoo. No? Same thing with, well, I use the word divine intervention. That is a very true. When it is God's intervention to a man who is dying, kung yan decision para mabuhi na siya, di ba? Melchizedek, remember Melchizedek? Unya, kinsa nisulti sa iya, propeta. Ginoo ba ang propeta? Dili. Yun siya na. Ang matay na daw kayo yung gakuan. Di ba gi-confound sa Ginoo? Gipahiya sa Ginoo si prophet. Who was the prophet? Nisulti siya? Prophet Elijah? Na si Melchizedek, King Melchizedek, hangtod pag 15 years yung life. Extensionan. O niya, everybody was thinking na gi-extensionan sa Ginoo. No. Huwag ito iyang time sa iyang due time sa iyang pagkamatay. Tao lang may nisulti sa iyaha, propeta lang may nisulti sa iyaha. Namamatay siya, di ba siya Ginoo? Ginoo lang may gawin na kabalo sa atong appointment sa iyaha. Wala gi-extend sa Ginoo. It was indeed, huwag ito iyang time, in God's time. It was only the prophet who spoke the word na sunod si Manong mo, tayo na ka. Pila na ka, patay na ka. Yes po.
Pastor, second life, ngayon, aksidente, nabuhi ba?
Second line ang tawag. Yeah, Kristohanon ka mo, gamit ka word na second line. Dili ka mo yung second line. It was the grace of God, it was the divine protection of God into my life. Dili ka mo yung second life na gabi na ako. Ano? Ang word sa tumoy, by God's grace, bagag na yung God's grace, oy. I-claim na niyo ang word na second life ni mo. Ano man, ito nang dala sa inyong life? Kung sa imong feeling, nakay-iring, sa iring? Because we cannot say na, uy, it's my second life. No. The right word there is, it was the divine protection of God.
Yes.
That I was not consumed into that accident. Di kayo ito, second life mo. Ano man, ikaw dala sa iyong life?
Marami third life.
Basi gusto pa ka third life. Ang tawag nila ko sa inyo, dili na Rico, ming. Na. Dili na dito Rico. Joke na dito. Pero it is true. It is really true. It is something that a Christian should know. Kumustahin yung mga words. Kumustahin yung mga pinulungan. Kaya basig ang inyong mga pinulungan pa na during sa inyong old religion time. No? Muna yun siya kay Timothy. Be thou an example to the believers in words, in conversation, in conduct, in truth, in faith, in love, in purity, and in faith. Muna yun isulti. Unya, Kristohanon ta din at example sa itong words. Dapat our words should edify by example. Amen?
Amen.
Muna na, persevere through favor. A life of Joseph is the best example. No? Favor is what we call grace. God's unmerited favor. Muna nga, hindi ka pwede ringon nga second life na ako na by God's grace. No, dapat kayo madulat na mga Kristohanon.
Ako, kikikuan mo na ako na pastor. Sana ako, isitaw mo na kay litas mo siya. Di ba, second life? Sabi ko, hindi pa niya nabutan yung appointment time. Hindi nga sila, pastor. Wala pa, hindi pa na yung appointment time niya.
Because in the book of Hebrews 29, sige daw, book of Hebrews 9:29 or 29:9. For the death of man is appointed unto God. Sige daw, please daw, Hebrews. Because kabalo 27 verse 9:27. Yes, chapter 9 verse 27. What was the word there? Teacher Tisha, please, can you read loud?
Hebrews 9:27. And as it is appointed unto man once to die, but after this the judgment.
See? Ang kamatayon sa tao, appointment diha sa Ginoo. Kay kausara mamatay ang tao. Right after that is the judgment. Right? Unya, kung nabanggaan ka, pero nibangon ka, wala kay pilay, ayaw ko second life ni mo na. Dili. It was the divine protection that God protected you. Maski pag dili ka faithful sa iyaha in serving, God's faithfulness does not depend how faithful we are to Him. God's faithfulness is always been faithful because it is His character. No? Mao lang nga kung nabanggaan ka, dili ka pwede mong iring. Ngayon ka sa Ginoo na, Lord, salamat kayo sa imong mercy ug sa imong divine protection. Kaya kung wala ang Ginoo sa imo ha, di ba ka faithful, dapat sa imo ha, nalata na ka, oy. Di ba? Yes. No? Muna na, it's not the second life, Daddy. That is mauto nga time na divine protection sa Ginoo because God is not yet finished dealing with you. Because when God started a work in your life, He will not leave you unfinished. Muna nga, appointment bigay mo sa Ginoo, wala na ko sinuha, wala na kawang, maski pang may tigulang na ko, dagay ko wasted na time. No! Mao gini ang time sa Ginoo para sa imong kinabuhi. Because wala ka niya, di pa tayo atong panahon na kaya dili pa tumawa yung appointed time. Mao na because you will have a calling. Mao na pag-iin ako sa imo na ikaw mag-scripture reader, ikaw mag-preach. Ayaw bali-bali, it's because God will enable you. Kung mayroon ka nga, moro ba na kung magpasulit, kung mo English, ano man, yung pastor, kabalo? Kabalo kung English, bigay sa tuong nga, okay, warta. Diba? Kuya mo yung English eh, wala ka papalit ng pan. O, maski crackling, so kung papalit.
Pero nakikita na sir, kanang kasagaran, hanggang dyan, isang kalima. Kaysa mamatay ka doon, ang kaisa mamatay ka doon,
Ang isang mamatay, ang lawas. Flesh. Kaduha siya mo, atubang sa Ginoo because ang atubang sa iya is ang spirit man. Right? Sige lang, we will be studying that under doctrine, after doctrine anak. No? Because ang tao is in trichotonomous. Flesh. Flesh is the body, soul, and spirit. Mo nang ang kailangan sa Ginoo ng worship sa iya ha? Spirit lang o soul. Wala siya sa flesh. Because if you're going to worship Him in flesh, di na niya madawat. Mo na nga sa Ephesians 5:19, gi-require niya na spiritual songs, hymns, and psalms ang kantahon. Because it is your heart na magkaroon og melody diha sa imong kasigas. Wala siya yung i-worship siya in flesh. Mo na pag makadungag beat of a drum, flesh yun na. Kabalo jud ka flesh. Ngano man? Oh.
kaisa siya di anak, kadua siya mamatay. Malimbi na sila.
Kaisa siya gi-anak.
Kadua siya mamatay.
Yes po. Because ang first nimo is your biological birth. Which is, you have your body. You have your flesh. Tapos, dead pa man imong spirit, anak. Later on, when you get to know Christ, you will have the Spirit of God. Unya, daan naman ka na ikalag. Right? That's why your soul and your spirit abides. Mag-uban. Human, pagkamatay nimo, imong flesh mamatay, pero imong spirit, dili. Mo na yung mga tubang, mo na yung mga movie account sa Ginoo. Mo na yung ba natong story? Have you remember?
Para sa mga sa Nicodemus.
Nicodemus. Yes po.
Dito. Not mo na ko di ko na niya lalaki nga ko at counseling. Kini jo ko si Nicodemus nga Anong spirit?
Oo, katong ano born again man, ano ibalik ko sa
Nagpatabang ko kaya nagtayo pa sa tama Kurang paglison yung kong tama
Oo.
niya. Pasabot sa iya kay. Kita dyan yung mga.
kanang dead gid ang spirit.
Ang soul
O niya,
spirit.
close iyang senses of
Yung siya,
knowing
usay
God.
spirit. Usay soul.
Oo.
Patay.
Ang tao man good trichotomos na siya na lawas.
Kaning pastor,
Ulo.
kaning 1 Corinthians 15:44. Yung niya dali, it is, basahin na ako.
Yes po, please.
It is,
Doctrine class taron.
it is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body, and there is a spiritual body.
Yes po. Gigamit lang ang body as parts. Pag diin ka spiritual body, the body spirit of your spirit.
A natural body.
Pag a natural body flesh, kini.
Yes, sa John 3.
O, pag may kag soul, body of your soul, ang katilibutan sa lawas sa imong spirit sa imong kalan, nakapod siya itinabog ang lawas. Mo nang try ko paano musta, tulo ta, ana o tulo. Morning flesh, morning soul, morning spirit. Trichotonomos, tulo kabahin. Ang gusto sa Ginoo na mo-worship sa iyaha, kag kung sa kinasa imong kasing-kasing, as ang imong spirit o imong soul. Wala siya niingon sa flesh. Mo na ang baptist, po? Spirit of Ginoo, pag imong receive siya, mo na nga imong spirit buhi. Dili ka previously dead. Oh. Yes po.
Dapat sa, dili sa Juan, John 3.
John 3.
Ipaliwanag yun sa
When you
ganun
go
para
to sa iyang Juan, makita niyo na, that is why when we do things sa kalibutan, tingala ta nga, anong dili man matagbaw, anong naman gikulang, because that empty hole in your heart, it's only the Spirit of God can fill. Siya ay pwede mo puno. Dili mapuno sa kwarta, dili mapuno sa fame, dili mapuno sa power, dili mapuno sa dominant nimo or domineering nimo na character. Mapuno lang siya pag naambalang espiritu sa Ginoo. Mo ray makapapuno sa imo. Wala ka na shock nga nung na-changes yung life mo. Paano na lagi ko makontento? Okay na lagi sa paugnaan eh. Because of the God's Holy Spirit that fills in your heart. Dili na nimo na nimo kaugalingon imong hunahuna ang uban. Because the Spirit of God is telling you that. Mo na nga kung ang inyong Ginoo nahibalaan lang ninyo manluluwas o Ginoo, dili ta kayo Ginoo. Kaya ang akong Ginoo, dili lang siya manluluwas. Dili lang siya Ginoo. He even teach me. He even administrate my life. He even leads me. He even guides me. He even orchestrate my life. And He even in control of everything as it was made. No? Muna ko yung Ginoo, Savior lang na kung Ginoo ra. Dito pa rin Ginoo. Ay kung istorya sa imong Ginoo. Limitado imong Ginoo. Ako Ginoo, infinite. I know my God. And that is something we are looked up to. Relationship with God. So kung wala tayo relasyon sa Ginoo, ang atong nahibalaan, anira kagamay. Because the bigger you know God, the smaller we become. Yung kagamay ta sa natubangan. Muna ganyan sa nyo, kada po tayo sa Ginoo, wala na nabili ko ako. Tinoon. Tanan na imong gikaptan, wa kay imo. That is why do not look at other people as they don't have nothing. Because at the end, you will end up, you don't have everything at all. Ayaw tanaw sa ubang tao nga wala sila ila. Ano yung tinanawan, wala ka kinsa. Ayaw. Kay basic iparealize sa Ginoo sa imo ha. Mawala yung kay imo mas isa. No? So, Mary goes over to stand. Let us pray.